In this particular instructional video, we are going to calculate the time and ultimately the, what is it called? The velocity, the initial velocity. So here we go. So I'm just going to go over here to this next cell. And in this cell, I'm going to type in time of flight. Give me just a second here. All right. So this is going to be time of flight. And this is going to be in seconds. Okay, and I need to go ahead and wrap this around. And so the time of flight is going to be calculated like so. You're going to have this cell equals to the square root, and I am just going to start typing in SQRT, and you can see the square root is coming up right here. So I'm going to select square root, and then where this number is located, we're going to go ahead and type in a -2. So it's going to be a -2 times 9.81. And then we want to do this, I know I'm missing something, times the height, the height. I think that this is wrong. I think it's a -2 times the height divided by 9.81. So let's see how that comes out. Yeah, that's right. I can remember the number. So, all right. So our significant digits are 2. So since we're doing this based on y, the significant digits that we have there are only 2. Remember that the zeros in front are not, or to the left, are not significant. But these numbers after are significant. So let's go ahead and put in 2 decimal places. Just going to select general, go to number, and let's just make sure that we have 2 decimal places. So 0.13 is the time of flight. Now that we have our time of flight and we have our average displacement here, okay, we can just divide the average displacement by the time of flight, and we'll get our average velocity. All right, we'll get our initial velocity as well as our average velocity. So our initial velocity in the x direction, it's really going to end, even though it's in the x direction, it's going to be our initial velocity, period. And that's because we're firing in the x direction only. So that's going to be meters per second. Okay, and so now double tap there. This is going to be equal to, remember, our average displacement in the x direction. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, divided by the time of flight. So now it's just a simple division. The displacement over the time. And there's our number. Initial velocity is 3.05537577. We can't measure down that far. All we can do, the best thing that we can do is look at, and I'm not going to look at time of flight as far as the calculation. I'm going to look back at this average displacement here, and it's 0.082. Again, we only have 2 significant digits, so the best we can do is 3.0 in this particular case. So I'm going to go to general, I'm going to go to number, and make this 1 decimal place, and so we end up with 3.1 in this particular case. And that'll be it. You just go ahead and upload this work, and that'll be enough for me. If you want to upload your video, you probably can, but I'm not asking for it. This will be enough.